Good morning, Rainmakers. Welcome back to Reignway podcast, where we talk about real growth, real challenges, and how to build a life that actually works for you. Today, I want to flip the script. We always hear about the perfect morning routine. The wake up at 5 a.m., meditate, drink green juice, journal, run 10K before sunrise, and all that stuff. But if I told you before we even try to build the right morning routine, we need to focus on what not to do. This is what I call the anti-morning routine. And these are habits that destroy your day before it even begins. But before I get into that, let me be clear. I never used to be a morning person. In fact, I used to hate mornings. I'd stay up late at night, even when I was tired, just because my brain somehow kicked in around 10 p.m. I'd binge on Netflix, scroll social media, convince myself I was being productive, and then crash late, only to wake up groggy and way behind my schedule. Can you relate to this? I'm sure you can. Here's the thing. I thought I was wired that way, and I always used to tell people that you get a morning person, a night owl, as they say, and a night owl, and that's it. But over time, I came to believe that the whole morning person versus night person debate is a bit of a myth. And the science is started to back that up as well. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act, but a habit, Aristotle mentioned. It's not about your DNA, it's more about your discipline. Here's what changed for me. A small wearable device called Whoop, which I have on at the moment as well. Some of you may have heard of it. It tracks your sleep, strain, and recovery, and it gives you hard data on how your body is performing. When I started to use it, I realized I wasn't just sleeping less, I was actually sleeping badly. No REM, no deep sleep, and my body wasn't always in flight or fight mode, it was just not recovering. Also, I began, and so what happened after sort of realizing this and opening my eyes to the fact that, on the one hand, I thought I was, an able, functioning, fantastic individual. I started to then began sort of designing my nighttime routine just as seriously as I planned my morning routine. Because here's the truth. A great morning doesn't start in the morning, it starts the night before. So let's dive into the anti-morning routine, the 3 habits to avoid in order to have a productive day. Number 1, scrolling social media as the first thing in the morning. Let's be real. Most of us grab our phones before we even get out of bed. But studies have shown that starting your day with social media increases stress and leads to decision fatigue. You're flooding your brain, which has just woken up, with noise, ads, opinions, and filtered realities. It's like drinking Red Bull before brushing your teeth. I mean, if I told you to drink Red Bull as soon as you woke up before you brush your teeth, you'd say, no, don't be stupid. It's the same thing with sort of getting your phone and looking at social media. Also, what social media does is it spikes your dopamine. That's the molecule of more. It tricks your brain into seeking constant rewards and distractions, and that's why it's so hard to stop scrolling. So instead, why don't we read something, review some goals, sit quietly, prime your brain with intention, not chaos. So, second thing, procrastination. This is a silent killer. Hit snooze too many times, and suddenly it's 10 a.m. and the day's already run by you. As author James Clear says in Atomic Habits, you do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. If you keep postponing your key tasks, your brain builds that up as a habit loop and it becomes a default mode. So my advice, pick 3 things, important tasks, and tackle them first thing. Leverage your natural brain power, which is at its peak, in the first 4 hours of the day and win early. Small wins build momentum. Number 3, staying physically active. This was a game changer for me, to be fair. I used to think that I'll exercise in the evening. But let's be honest, by the evening, we're tired, distracted, and out of time. But morning movement, even light boosts of endorphins, clear your brain fog, improve your focus. And you don't need to go to the gym. You just need 20 minutes of some kind of activity. Walking the dog, stretching, a bit of yoga, body weight routine. It doesn't have to be dramatic. It just needs to be consistent. And trust me, it does work. So here's the real secret sauce to what works if you don't fix the nighttime routine. So what I'm saying is that if you don't actually fix your nighttime routine, you're not actually going to be able to do the morning routine. So let me break down my nighttime routine for you. Around 8:30, I start winding down. No phone, no Netflix, no blue light. Just a book, dim lights, maybe a hot shower. Start the routine of brushing your teeth, getting changed, and keep it all the same. Whoop tells me when I need to go to bed if I want to have an 85% recovery or 100% recovery. So I follow that. But if you don't have Whoop, you can just set a set time. My goal is to go to bed by about 9:30. That gives me a solid 7 to 8 hours if I'm up by 5 o'clock. I know now it sounds like, 9:30 is so early. Who goes to bed at 9:30 as a grown man or lady? But ask yourself, what do you really do in this time? Watching Netflix, scrolling Instagram, having just one more drink. That's fine once in a while, but every day, then it's just stealing your productivity, your health, and peace of mind. So, final thoughts are, you don't need to be perfect, but you do need to be honest with yourself. If you're not ready for both routines, then just start with one. And I'd say to start with the nighttime routine because good sleep gives you the fuel to do everything else better. And the best part is you don't need any money, you don't need any courses, you don't need any gym. All you need is a little bit of willpower and discipline. Just choose yourself. Build a routine that serves your goals, your body, and your mind. As I always say, discipline is choosing between what you want now and what you want most. Let's be real. Growth isn't about hacks, it's about habits. So let's get into those habits. Let's get into those routines and let's really make it rain. Okay? Thanks for listening. If it helped you, drop me a line, subscribe, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Till the next time, stay focused, stay honest, and live the Reignway.